Hello, Jack Davis here with just some of the topics we're going to be covering in the upcoming Sandy Puc Jack Davis Workflow Tour coming to a city near you. We hope you can make it. We'll see you soon. And just what do I mean by showing you some samples of what we're going to be doing on tour? Well, of course, if you know me, that means I'm going to be throwing the kitchen sink at you, because that's kind of what I do. We're going to start off here with a beautiful portrait image, a cross-processed effect image by Hal and Victoria Schmidt of Light Workshops in Morro Bay, California, which, by the way, we're also going to be looking at images from Sandy Puc in her studio as well, and some from Brooke Crystal, renowned wedding photographer from South Carolina. But in this case, we have a beautiful shot that normally you would think of as being done within Photoshop, with filters and layers, and maybe some dodging and burning, and third-party filters. Wouldn't it be neat if you could go from this to this right within Lightroom, or even Adobe Camera Raw? Well, now you can. That's right. The brand new capabilities of Lightroom 4 and Photoshop CS6 with its new Adobe Camera Raw are going to allow you to push what you thought possible further than ever before. This includes not only the little retouching you're seeing here and the eye enhancing and dodging and burning, but also the special effects like skin softening. That's right. Something that you would normally do with filters in Photoshop can now be done right within Lightroom. But that may be a little bit too much. And of course, everything that I show you here, I often do for teaching purposes, show it over the top, and you'll back off for your own purposes. But a lot of times it comes down to meat and potato. What can we do to get stuff out the door quickly and easily without needing to muck about for minutes or hours on fine-tuning an image? And in this case, we've got a beautiful Sandy Puc shot that we just need to maximize our color and tone. And as you're going to see here, color and tone is what the new Lightroom and Adobe Camera Raw are all about. Another Brooke Crystal shot, Trash the Dress. In the past, I've used this image to show how to do dodging and burning, hand dodging and burning. This is just a series of sliders. No dodging and burning, even in Lightroom and ACR. Certainly not Photoshop. A few sliders from here to here. The ability to pull out shadow detail in the new Lightroom and ACR is going to absolutely blow your mind. A lot of these are images that I've used for teaching dodging and burning in the past, or HDR compositions. These are all single-shot, slider-based enhancements and optimizations right within our beloved Lightroom and Adobe Camera Raw. And as hopefully you're starting to see, if you can do this sort of work without needing to go into Photoshop, you know what that's going to do in terms of saving your posterior, in terms of actually being able to go home at night. What a concept. If you could take this beautiful gentleman, another Sandy Puc shot, good-looking young man, a little few things we want to minimize, and you can do this right within Lightroom without needing to go into Photoshop, I can tell you, well, I don't need to tell you, because you already know yourself. If you can do that within Lightroom, you've just made yourself a boatload of money. Fixing lens correction, even a little weight reduction. Again, this is all Lightroom. Let's take off 10 pounds. Okay, a quick and easy little trick, a special hidden feature within Lightroom. But what happens if the model, another Sandy Puc shot, has been working out for the last few months and really loves this shot, but does not love it in its current state? Well, then, of course, you've got Liquify, and we'll be covering Photoshop inside and out and all its new capabilities, including the new Liquify, right within this workflow tour. Young man, beautiful woman, last thing he needs to do is lose weight. He just needs a little posture improvement, maybe a little attitude adjustment as well. But first we fix color and tone, and then we enhance by simply jumping over into Photoshop from within Lightroom or Adobe Camera Raw. And that Photoshop integration is also going to be central to what we'll be doing on tour. Some things like replacing glare in glasses, replacing skies on architectural shots, replacing heads on moving about little kids, or changing out a groom for a bride because you just didn't get that shot that you needed. Getting rid of sisters using the new Content Aware Move as well as the new Content Aware Patch as easy as pie. But again, a lot of what we're going to be doing is the meat and potatoes of just image optimizing and enhancing. And in this case, being able to go from here to here, if you can't do that in about 10 seconds, you're spending too much time. If you can't go from here with a white balance issue and some need for a little bit of fixing to here in just a couple minutes within Lightroom without needing the extra effort of going into Photoshop, creating new documents, layers, adjustments, masking, retouching, even things like eyes and teeth and hair, all can be done within Lightroom quickly, easily, and repeatably. Things like this, lighting fix, white balance fixes, basic color and tone, including a little graduated ND in the sky and in the foreground. Little skin fixing. Here we've got a little red skin on our gentleman here. Wouldn't it be nice if you could fix red skin, rosacea, freckles, acne, by taking advantage of the new white balance in a brush that's capable in Lightroom and Adobe Camera Raw. You've seen this one. I keep using it because it's so great. With this kind of extreme color correction, again, normally most people would go into Photoshop. This is a slider. This isn't even using a brush. These are sliders in Lightroom. Beautiful shot here. What in the world could you possibly do to this shot, for a crystal shot? Well, in this case, what we want to do is emphasize our princess in the middle, but also we've got our brides over here, or our bridesmaids over here that are in focus. These over here are out of focus. It'd be really nice to balance this out, throw these out of focus as if we were shooting a little bit faster. Okay, we had faster glass, and with this light, we probably were maxed out already. So what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of Lightroom's new capabilities to change focus after the fact. A beautiful transition from out of focus into focus, out of focus again, including some dodging and burning on our bride, right within Lightroom without needing Photoshop. I know you know what that would do to your business to be able to do this quickly and easily. Special color effects, tone improvements, special effects going beyond the capture to enhancing or embellishing an image to give you the opportunity to sell something that maybe that your competition can't do, or can't do it in a way that's going to make them money. And in this case, all of these things can also be done as presets within Lightroom and Adobe Camera Raw, and easily applied to hundreds of images at once. Great, beautiful shot, Helen Victoria Schmidt. Exaggerated glamour glow. Yeah, I know that's over the top. You don't have to do it this much, but just to show you that you can. And again, that cross-processing. We've got the new color curves built into ACR in Lightroom, and they can do wonders, not only for color work, but in this case, we're going to do a little cross-processing and then black and white work using our new curves within the new Lightroom and ACR. And as you can see here, we've got red hair on a Red Riding Hood robe. How in the world are you going to get the robe to go black and the hair to go white? That's the miracle of the new capabilities of Lightroom and ACR. Antiquing effects, special effects here, first optimizing and then desaturating the background, all done literally in just a couple minutes at most, right within Lightroom. Portrait enhancing, black and whites. As I mentioned before, black and whites, film noir effects are beautiful in Lightroom, especially with the newer curves capabilities. Or if you have a real kind of film noir look, real at least antique black and white, we can turn it into an instant little sepia. And then hand tinting. If you've never hand tinted within ACR and Lightroom, well, for me, it's better to do it there than in Photoshop, and you'll see why right within our workflow tour coming to a city near you. HDR effects now done with single shots. That's right. I used to use these images to teach how to combine bracketed exposures to create an HDR. This is a single shot enhancement, taking advantage of the new shadow and highlight capabilities built right into Lightroom. These can, of course, be used for special effects on portraits and antiquing effects. And all of these we're going to be turning into presets so you can apply them over and over again and use them to, Yes, proverbially soak your clients for a few extra bucks. Beautiful shot. What in the world could you do this? This is a Sandy Puc shot. So beautiful. Well, if you want that over the mantelpiece as a painting, wouldn't it be neat if you could do that within Lightroom? And if you look at the detail, what you're able to do, if you understand what the sliders do and what they're capable of, you can do even these painterly-esque treatments without ever needing to use a third-party filter or leave Lightroom. But when you do need to leave Lightroom, here's a shot here. Again, we're going to do a little glamour glow here. Beautiful Sandy Puc shot. We're doing that extra little touch. Okay. And this is, we're going to jump into Photoshop, but we're going to be using smart filter recipes in Photoshop. Completely non-destructive and shareable smart filter recipes. In Photoshop, we'll also be taking advantage of the new adaptive wide angle that's going to allow us to fine-tune panoramas in ways never before possible. Filtering effects. Yeah, you don't have filtering built into Lightroom, so for things like this, we're going to be using filters. But this is an action, and this is something that we're also going to be covering on tour, and in this case, we'll also be giving you these actions. My favorite actions will all be given to every attendee coming to the Workflow Tour, coming to a city near you, including antiquing actions. You'll see this, I won't say who it is, but you'll see this person on tour. And we'll also be doing filtering things like motion blur, where we talk about selecting and enhancing of images. Okay, speaking of enhancing, what's really popular now when it comes to antiquing is taking textures and adding them as a patina to your photographs. Yes, the grandification of photographs is also something that can be done quickly and easily right within Photoshop. We may even get into some painting. The new CS5 and CS6 has new brushes and erodible tips. And here's an image from Sandy Foster, a renowned yoga photographer, and done using the new mixer brush technology in CS6. Okay, and even some filtering special effects for doing painterly effects right within Lightroom. Well, finishing up here, you've seen that we've taken an original image. We've showed you how you can optimize it to beautiful color and tone. We can do effects like cross-processing without ever needing to leave Lightroom or ACR. We can do targeted recolors, like pulling out the red and leaving everything else black and white, or leaving everything green and getting rid of everything else. Beautiful black and whites, and even going into Photoshop and adding our little glows. But what you haven't seen before is the ability to take this raw information and turn it into beautiful optimized images, taking advantage of the capabilities right within Lightroom. That's right. All the beautiful presets that you can do for print can now be applied right to video. So here's the original clip. Here is the clip with optimized color and tone. You can see what we're able to do in terms of pulling out huge amounts of shadow detail. Cross-processing. That's right. The same presets, the same sliders that you can use for print can now be used for all those incredible clips you're creating with your DSLRs, including special effects like isolating color, either reds or greens or anything you could possibly imagine, again with no obviously selecting or any other manipulation. Beautiful black and whites, pulling out color and tone, having complete control over it, and even taking that clip into Photoshop and then applying those filter effects that aren't available in Lightroom and ACR to the video clips. And in that case, we'll be using smart filter recipes as well, which means if you have a half a dozen different things that you do to a video clip, within the new video capabilities of Photoshop CS6, either the extended version or the regular version allows all the video editing to take place. You can take those smart filter recipes and simply drag and drop them from one clip to another and instantly be done. It's an amazing set of new capabilities that are at our fingertips. We hope you can join us. It's going to be an invaluable day of insights from both myself and Sandy. Of course, Sandy will be working through all the studio workflow ins and outs, the shooting, output, marketing, selling, managing a studio. All this is going to be in one single day at a tour stop coming to a city near you imminently here in 2012. We hope that you can join us, and we'll see you soon.